The scream tore through the night just as the power went out. Lanterns flickered. Dogs went silent all at once. And Etim froze mid-step, 1 foot hovering above the dusty road, his heart pounding so loudly he was sure the whole village could hear it. "Who's there?" he shouted, his voice cracking. No answer. Only footsteps. Slow. Border. Deliberate. They were coming from the old forest path, the one nobody used anymore. The one elders warned children never to walk after sunset. Etim swallowed and turned, his hand shaking as he raised his torch. The beam cut through the darkness and landed on white. Not clothes. Not exactly. Figures. They were tall, thin, glowing faintly like moonlight on water. They walked calmly, side by side, heads held high, as if the night belonged to them. Etim stepped back. No, Eguisperth. The figures didn't look at him. They didn't acknowledge him at all. They simply passed, their feet hovering just above the ground. Etim dropped the torch and ran. He burst into his family compound, slamming the wooden door behind him. "Mama!" he shouted. "Mama!" His mother rushed out, wrapping her wrapper tighter around her chest. "What is it? Why are you shouting like a madman?" "They're outside," Etim said, breathless. "They're walking." "Who is walking?" He struggled to find the words. Her face changed. "Did you drink?" she asked sharply. "No." "Did you smoke anything?" "No." She stared at him for a long moment, then hissed, "Lower your voice." From the inner room, his grandmother coughed. "Let the boy speak," the old woman said weakly. Etim's mother hesitated, then helped Etim inside. The room smelled of herbs and old wood. His grandmother lay on a mat, eyes cloudy but alert. "Tell me," she said. Etim knelt. "I was coming back from Okon's place. The light went off. Then I heard footsteps. From a forest path. I saw them, Grandma. They were many, dressed in white, floating." The old woman closed her eyes. She murmured. "So, it has started." Etim's mother laughed nervously. "Mama, please, don't encourage him. Children of nowadays imagine too much." "Did the dogs bark?" the grandmother asked. "No," Etim said. "They were quiet." "Did the drums beat?" Etim's breath caught. "Yes, faintly. I thought I was imagining it." The old woman opened her eyes and looked straight at her daughter. "They're walking home." The room went silent. "What does that even mean?" Etim's mother snapped. "Home where?" "Home to us," the grandmother said. "To their blood. To their land." Etim shook his head. "This doesn't make sense." His grandmother reached for his hand. Her grip was surprisingly strong. "When ancestors walk," she said, "it is because the living have forgotten." That night, nobody slept. At exactly midnight, the drums began again. Soft, slow, like a heartbeat. From different houses, people peeked through curtains. Some whispered prayers. Others laughed, pretending not to be afraid. A man down the road shouted, "Who is beating drums at this hour? Are you mad?" The drums stopped. A scream followed. By morning, the man's house was empty. Door wide open. Food untouched. His sandals still by the doorstep. "They say he traveled," someone muttered. "No," an old woman replied. "He followed them." The village gathered under the Irako tree later that day. Murmurs filled the air. "This is nonsense," said Bassi, folding his arms. "Ghost stories because of one blackout. People don't disappear for nothing," another replied. Etim stood quietly beside his friend Okon. "You saw them too?" Okon whispered. Etim nodded. The village head cleared his throat. "We will consult the elders." "They're all dead," Bassi scoffed. A low murmur of agreement spread. That night, the ancestors came again. This time, they walked through the center of the village. Etim stood at his window, heart racing. They moved slowly, deliberately, like they had nowhere else to be. One stopped. Etim's breath caught as the figure turned its head. Its face was familiar. He recognized it from an old photograph his grandmother kept wrapped in cloth. "Great-grandfather," Etim whispered. The ancestor smiled. Not kindly. The next morning, Etim's grandmother was gone. They found her mat empty. Her walking stick lay by the door. Etim's mother collapsed, screaming. She said she would wait. Etim muttered, his hands shaking. She said she would wait for them. The elders finally spoke on the third day. They gathered a small group, and called Etim forward. You saw them first, one elder said. What did they do? They walked, Etim replied. They watched. They waited. That is worse than violence, another elder said softly. Why? Etim asked. Because it means judgment has not yet fallen. The oldest elder sighed. Something was taken, something buried, something forgotten. And now? Etim asked. The elder looked at him. Now they want it returned. That night, Etim dreamed of footsteps, of names being whispered, of land crying, and a voice that said, calmly and clearly, before dawn, remember us or walk with us. The morning drums did not sound for Etim's grandmother. No one suggested it. No one dared. They buried her quietly behind the house, just before sunset. The priest said a few words, careful ones, the kind spoken when nobody is sure who might be listening. Etim noticed that even the birds avoided the compound. That night, his mother sat on the floor, staring at nothing. She promised she wouldn't leave me alone, she whispered. She said she would stay until I was old. Etim crouched beside her. Mama, she didn't abandon us. Then where did she go? She snapped, eyes flashing. Did she walk away like the others? Etim had no answer. Outside, footsteps passed the compound again. Slow, calm. His mother stiffened. They're back. Yes, Etim said quietly. She covered her ears. Tell them to leave us alone. Etim stood, heart pounding. They won't listen to me. How do you know? Because they're not here for permission. The footsteps faded, and the house felt colder. The next morning, Etim was summoned again. This time, not by the elders, but by the past. He found an old wooden box under his grandmother's bed. He didn't know why he looked there. His hands just moved on their own. Inside were photographs, brittle papers, and a cloth bundle tied with faded red thread. He opened it. Land documents. His grandfather's name stood boldly at the top. What is this? Etim muttered. His mother entered and froze. Where did you get that? It was Grandma's. She sank onto the bed. She told me never to open that box. What is it? Silence stretched between them. Finally, she said, your grandfather was not a good man. Etim sat. Mama. He was respected, she continued quickly. People praised him. They called him a leader. But she looked away. Leadership can hide many sins. That afternoon, Etim met Okon by the stream. You look like you haven't slept, Okon said. No one has, Etim replied. People are pretending, but everyone hears them. Okon lowered his voice. My uncle says this land was never ours. Etim's chest tightened. What do you mean? They say a shrine used to stand where the school is now. Etim remembered the elder's words. Something taken, something buried. That night, the dream returned. Etim stood barefoot on the forest path. The ancestors lined both sides silent. One step forward, his great-grandfather. You carry our blood, the ancestor said. What do you want from us? Etim asked, his voice shaking. Truth, the ancestor replied. Spoken, not hidden. I don't know everything. You know enough, the ancestor said. Ask your mother. Etim woke up gasping. At dawn, he confronted her. What did Grandpa do? She burst into tears. They sold the land, she said. The sacred land. They said development was coming, but the old ways were holding us back. And the shrine, they destroyed it. Etim felt sick. What about the people buried there? She covered her face. They said bones are just bones. That evening, the village gathered again. Fear sat heavy in the air. We must perform appeasement rites, one man suggested. With what? Another snapped. The shrine is gone. Etim stepped forward before he could stop himself. The land, he said. That's what they want. Murmurs spread. My family sold it, he continued. My grandfather led it. His mother cried out, Etim, stop. But the ancestors were already walking. They moved through the crowd, close enough for people to feel the cold of them. One stopped in front of Etim. Speak, the ancestor said, voice echoing in every ear at once. Etim swallowed. We were wrong. The ancestor nodded slowly. That night, Etim turned to the camera. If this were a YouTube narration moment, and the narrator's voice would gently remind viewers, if you're still watching, this is where the story changes. Like, comment, and subscribe if you believe forgotten histories always return. The ancestors did not leave. They waited. The village did not sleep that night. Nobody pretended anymore. Doors were left open. Lamps burned until the oil finished. People sat together, whispering, arguing, remembering. The ancestors stood at the edges of the village, not threatening, not violent, just present. Watching. Etim sat beside his mother on the floor. "They will take us," she whispered. "No," Etim said gently. "They want us to see." "To see what?" "The truth we buried." She shook her head. "If your grandfather were alive." "He is," Etim replied quietly. "That's the problem." A knock came at the door. To return what was taken, they walked to the old school grounds. The ancestors followed. Nobody ran. Nobody screamed. The elder spoke first. This land was not empty. Etim stepped forward. "My grandfather led the sale." His voice shook, but he didn't stop. They said the shrine was old. That progress mattered more. The ancestors moved closer. Etim's mother fell to her knees. "Forgive us." Silence. Then the great-grandfather spoke. Names were erased. Etim swallowed. "Say them," he pleaded. One by one, names were spoken. Forgotten elders. Women. Children. As the final name left Etim's mouth, the wind shifted. The ancestors nodded. "Restore," the voice said. At first light, the village pulled down the fence around the land. They cleared the ground with bare hands. They marked the place where the shrine once stood. No songs. No celebration. Just acknowledgement. As the sun rose fully, the ancestors began to fade. One by one, they turned back toward the forest path. Etim watched his great-grandfather pause. "You chose truth," the ancestor said. "That is enough." Then he was gone. The village felt lighter, quieter. Days passed. Life resumed, but not the same. People greeted each other more softly. Children were taught names again. At night, Etim sometimes heard footsteps, but they never came inside. One evening, Etim stood alone by the restored ground. He whispered, "We remember." The wind answered. And if this story has kept you till the end, the narrator would say softly, "Like this video if it moved you. Comment if you believe the past always finds its way home. And subscribe because some stories don't end. They wait to be told again." Far away, the forest path remained open, just in case.